Hi guys, this is Thor from TC. I'm the product manager for guitar effects here at TC, and I'm here today at Guitar Center to talk about the Forcefield Compressor. Compressors are kind of like the unsung heroes of guitar effects because unlike reverbs and delays and stuff like that, you don't immediately notice the difference it makes to your tone, but it's actually one of the things that can really improve your guitar sound, your overall guitar sound. At its core, a compressor is a really simple circuit, and what it does is that it takes the loudest sound coming from your guitar and suppress them while taking the lower sounds and raising the volume so that everything is more uniform. And it both makes for a more punchy sound, and it actually also, it's a little bit like cheating. It makes playing a little bit easier, but it can also be used as an effect, which if you guys are familiar with Red Hot Chili Peppers, it's one of the sounds that really defines that band. So here's my dry guitar sound without the pedal on. And with Forcefield Compressor. So this first example was pretty funky, but you can also use compressors to get way more funky in that kind of classic James Brown style. And for this example, I basically turned down the attack to get a more percussive sound and also turned up the sustain a little bit. And here's how it sounds. So here's a little bit of a secret trick on how you can also use a compressor. Basically, when you use an amp and you crank it up to get tube distortion, you'll also have this thing called sag, which is basically the power transformer that's kind of dipping and kind of pushing the signal a little bit, so you get this kind of almost compression type sound. And it's pretty hard to get when you can't turn the amp up loud enough, but you can simulate that tone using the compressor. And an added bonus of that is you can also push your drive pedal a little bit so you get more of a really natural sounding overdrive. So here I've added Cinder's overdrive, and this is the sound without Forcefield. And now I'll add the Forcefield compressor. Now what I've done is I've turned the attack all the way up to kind of simulate that sag with only a little bit of compression, and then I cranked up the level to push the overdrive to get me a little bit more distortion. So this was just a couple of examples of how your sound can improve by using a compressor. You can only try out Forcefield Compressor at Guitar Center, so make sure you rush down to your local store today. And make sure you also go to guitarcenter.com to read more about Forcefield.